This episode of Warp 5 is brought to you by Audible.com, offering more than 180,000 titles for smartphone, tablet, and desktop. To get a free audiobook of your choice and help Trek FM at the same time, visit audibletrial.com/trekfm. And also by Enterprise in Space, an international program of the non-profit National Space Society. Find out how you can help science and education and become a virtual crew member aboard the NSS Enterprise Orbiter by visiting enterpriseinspace.org. And if you want to join in on the conversation and share your thoughts on this episode or any other, please join the Babel Conference, our listeners group on Facebook. Just type Babel, that's B-A-B-E-L, into the Facebook search field. We look forward to seeing you there.
Hi, this is Dayton Ward, author of a whole bunch of Star Trek novels, and you're listening to Warp 5 on Trek FM.
How we doing, Trip? Ready when you are. Prepare for warp.
Course laid in, sir. Request permission to get underway. Let's go.
Welcome, Boomers, to another episode of Warp 5, Trek FM's dedicated Star Trek Enterprise podcast. I'm your host, Patrick Devlin, and I'm joined again by my lovely host, Brandi Jackola. How are you, Brandi?
Oh, yay. I'm glad I was the lovely one. I thought you were just going to go straight to Brandon, and I was okay with that.
So did I.
I was okay with that, too.
Now I'm sad.
I was, but then you switched on my screen. Whatever.
I'm really sad.
Oh no.
A twist of evil fate has made me not the lovely one.
Oh, dear. Well, lovely on the outside doesn't necessarily mean lovely on the inside, so...
So how are you?
Oh, sorry. What, who, me?
Yeah, you.
We'll just say I'm fine, Patrick. How are you?
Well, I'm not really feeling myself today. I've been craving mealworms and stuff. It's very odd today. But I'm also joined by my beautiful host, Brandon-Shea Mutala.
Excellent. Yes, I am very beautiful. And I have nothing to add to that.
Great.
Don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
Okay. So before we get into our topic today, oh man, we had some comments on Babel. Brandon, would you like to read those?
So this is from our episode that we had with Larry Nemechek, where he talked about Season 4. Justin Ozer says, I loved this discussion with Larry. I think every time he's on, I learn 100 new things about Trek that I didn't know before. Matthew Bell says, I thought I knew a lot about Trek, but to quote my favorite film of all time, there's always someone cleverer than yourself. I don't know what film that's from. What film is that from?
I have no idea.
No?
I think I know, but I can't remember.
Matthew, you're going to have to message us again and tell us what movie that's from, because I don't know what that's from.
And
if it says cleverer, is that like Dumb and Dumber?
We are going to be shamed when we find out what it is.
As long as it's not like Star Trek 4 or something like that.
No, it's not that. I can tell you that.
Janet Lee says, loved Larry as the proverbial fly on the wall, and he made some good points on how certain criticisms turn up every time there's a new version of Trek. And then she also says, sorry, Brandi, but I just can't appreciate Strand's role in These Are the Voyages when he was so OOC. I'm guessing that means out of character?
Yes.
How can an honorable man like him join a gang in retirement? Has anyone in a midlife crisis ever done that in real life? I'd rather have him not be there at all than some ruined hollow version. Trip also suffers from the same problem. Even though Connor Trinneer didn't mind Trip's death, he admitted that he got out of worse scrapes before.
I found out what movie it's from.
What movie is it from?
It's from Excalibur.
Oh, well,
I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen that in like 25 years.
But we're going to watch Extinction tonight, so there's your connection, the X part.
Yes.
It's like
awesome.
Perfect. All connected. Everything.
Excellent. Yeah, so, I don't know. I didn't mind Strand's role in These Are the Voyages. I mean, wasn't the worst part of that episode.
No,
clearly not the worst.
I already left my comments on the Babel conference, but basically, I will always delight in anything that Jeffrey Combs does. So it doesn't really matter to me whether Shran was out of character, because the whole episode is not part of canon as far as I'm concerned. Because it happened, it's a holodeck version of what happened, 180 years ago? How do we know that any of this really happened this way? So, anyway.
Because it was on screen.
Don't care. It was on screen, but it was on a screen. It was a holodeck version on the screen, so therefore I can't consider it canon. But if I can enjoy Jeffrey Combs for part of it, I'm all down with that.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Well, we will definitely be getting to our discussion on These Are the Voyages. We're going to continue on with our Season 4 rewatch. I think we're going to hit up Part 2 in Episode 151. But we're gonna keep on trucking, and we want to make sure that we get that done by the end of the year. But, so we'll be sure to talk lots and lots and lots about These Are the Voyages. Because there's so much to talk about.
Tons. All right, we also had 2 new 5-star reviews, didn't we?
Yes, we certainly did. Would you like me to read them?
Yes. I would love to hear them.
All right. Excellent. Well, our first review comes from Chris Hill. The review is titled, Love the Show. Thank you very much, Chris. And Chris says, I really enjoy what you guys discuss about Enterprise. Patrick, Shea, and Brandi do a great job. I'm currently listening to Well They Were Up, and I love all the insight that Dr. Trek has. I really wish that I was more into Enterprise during its initial run, but this is the next best thing. Keep up the amazing work, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris.
And then we have another 5-star review from Dalek Slayer 101, and the review is titled My Reckoning. And thusly, Dalek Slayer 101 says, before I started to listen to this podcast, I thought podcasts were a drag. I had an image that it was a bunch of men in their 40s with monotonous voices talking about who knows what. But when I listen to this podcast, or any podcast on Trek FM, I really enjoy it. But Warp 5 is definitely my favorite. I love the way all of the hosts of the show interact and the many guest stars. And for probably one of my favorite series, tied with The Next Generation, I would not have any other podcast to listen to.
Awesome.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you.
Thanks so much, guys. We really appreciate it. And you know what I'm going to do? I've got a little bit of a surprise here for Brandi and Patrick here that they didn't know I was going to do about this. But we've got ourselves a couple... I just want to say hello and thank you to some of our listeners that we have around the world. So I've called up one of our episodes that has basically the most amount of downloads, which is episode 136, 50% Banana. That's our most downloaded show with our new group of hosts here. And that's the one where we were talking about the aliens, the Xindi, and whatnot. And so we got some, we got 36 people in Australia that listen to us.
Ooh.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And we have one person in Argentina.
Nice.
That's listening to us. We got 2 people in Egypt.
Ooh.
Believe it or not.
I believe it. That's wonderful.
It's always interesting when you hear these countries all over the world, that you're like, whoa, cool. There's 2 people in Turkey.
Nice.
So if you're in Turkey and you're listening, we're talking to you.
Yeah.
Directly to you.
Directly to you and that other person. Because there's 2 of you, I guess. Let's see. Let's hit some of the Central Europe countries here. Central European countries. We got 1 person in Switzerland.
Ooh.
So if you live in Switzerland, that's you, buddy. That's who we're talking about. 1 person in Portugal. Nice. Yeah, so we got people all over the world. 4 people in Sweden.
Great.
And 5 in Finland.
Awesome.
You people
Finland.
in Sweden, I wanted to tell you how much I love Ingmar Bergman. He's great. Maybe we'll cover an Ingmar Bergman movie on film night, one of his more depressing movies.
Hey, Finland, thank you for giving me so much wonderful goth metal to listen to and producing my favorite band of all time, him. Appreciate you.
Excellent. Well, that's just a hello to a lot of our listeners. There's lots of listeners all around the planet, but we just want to let you all know that we appreciate you guys very much. And it's really weird to know that we've got people listening all over the planet. It's kind of odd to know that there's people listening to me. And
it's a little odd knowing my voice is somewhere all over the world now.
And
Excellent.
I'm perfectly okay with it.
Those poor people.
Love that we have a wide reach.
Those poor people have to actually hear my voice. I thought that was just in America, but that was the only people we were punishing.
Excellent, right on. Well, we're doing a commentary tonight, aren't we, guys?
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Patrick's thrilled. It was his choice.
Yeah, that's it.
We're going to do a commentary for Extinction from Season 3, partly because we dislike this episode, but also partly because we haven't done a Season 3 episode for a commentary yet, so I figured it was about time that we did one.
And mostly because I hate it.
Oh, we all dislike it. We don't hate it. We just dislike it. We'll try and be positive. So we're not quite sure how the commentaries go, but we try and when we're talking about our commentaries, we're going to try and make it so that you can just listen. You don't have to watch the episode as we discuss it. We're going to do our best to provide insightful discussions so that you can pay attention. Honestly, I've listened to all the commentaries on Trek FM, and I've not watched any of them while I'm watching the episode, right? So Trek FM does a pretty good job usually of doing commentaries that you can listen to just as a podcast itself. Because really, that's all it is. We're just talking about some aspect of Trek anyways, right?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent,
Absolutely.
right on. Well, we've got it queued up. I've got my DVD in the computer, and I'm sharing my screen with you two. So we all get to watch from the one place here. And so you listeners, I'm going to give you a countdown just in case you want to listen and watch at the same time. So we've got a DVD queued up. You can go to Netflix. You can go to Blu-ray. You can go to Amazon Prime, apparently has it. So are you guys ready? You guys ready to de-evolve into the awesome commentary?
I am
All right,
so
let's
ready.
do this.
Excellent. So I'll give you the 3, 2, 1 countdown. And 3, 2, 1, play. Yay!
Woohoo!
Oh, a runny person is running through a swampy forest.
He's got the
I don't
runs
think
in the
person is
forest.
runny. I think he's quite solid, actually.
Yeah, but
Or she. We're not really sure.
he's running, so therefore is he a running
And then there's
person?
green lights. Night vision. I like it.
Okay, I'm just going to point out that this is the 3rd episode of the season, of a season-long arc, and it didn't
And it does
start with a
nothing.
previously on Trek FM. Or, not previously on Trek, previously on Star Trek Enterprise.
That would be interesting if it started with a previously on Trek
Yes,
FM. So he's got these little gill things on the side of his face, which are kind of interesting. So let me tell you, the first time I ever saw this, though, this scene is actually really cool.
When they burn him.
Yeah, and that's it. That's the last time it's cool.
That's the last time it's
Yeah.
cool. Excellent.
Oh, and now there's words.
Oh, the subtitles are on right from here.
It's because there was no talking in the beginning.
No, it's just running.
Now, I forgot to write down the name, but apparently this is the first episode where it actually said Star Trek Enterprise. Because the first 2 episodes of the season still said just Enterprise when they were originally broadcast. But they have changed it now for the DVD and Blu-ray releases so that all of Season 3 says Star Trek Enterprise. I wish I could remember who that was online. Somebody told us that. And and then I did double-check the information on online, and Memory Alpha confirmed. Not that I didn't believe that person, but, trust but verify. If I learn anything from a mission log, it's trust but verify.
True. Always true.
Excellent. Yeah, so did you guys watch this during its initial run? Like, I know, Patrick, you had trouble finding it, didn't you?
No, it
No,
was
Brandi
me.
Oh, it was
did.
Brandi.
I watched the initial run.
Yeah, me too.
I missed most of season 3 and most of season 4 because of that. It was never on when it was supposed to be. So, and the thing is, you can't come into the middle of season 3 and understand what's happening. You just can't. So, it was very frustrating.
Yeah. Here we are. There's the
All right,
ship
so now we're
coming
into the
by.
episode.
It's a warping past. Just so you know where we are, lighting a candle. There's DePaul in her pajamas.
Yeah. Again, as I've said many a times, try watching these with your 75-year-old grandmother.
Excellent. Georgia peach. Have you guys ever eaten a Georgia peach?
Yes.
Fresh?
No.
No?
Yes.
Are
No,
they good?
because they're never fresh because I live in Utah.
Yeah,
And
no.
you can't
I
get
live in New York. We
fresh
get them in about a
Georgia
day.
peaches. I mean, you can get them sort of fresh, but you can't
They're
pick
good.
them off
I
the
like
tree.
them. I'm not a big peach person anyway, but she's like really a jerk about this whole thing right here.
She kind of is, but it's kind of his fault too.
That's okay.
So.
She could have just tasted the damn peach.
You know, I think I have an allergy to peaches. I ate peaches once when I was a kid, and I think it's the fuzz on the peaches. I got like a really itchy face. So I don't eat a lot of peaches because of that.
Well,
they also told me I was allergic to hot dogs, but I ate them anyways.
Speaking of that, so my wife can't drink soda or Kool-Aid or any of those things because her mom always just lied to her. Anything with sugar she was allergic to.
Oh, wow.
So now she still believes it?
No, but she never had it growing up, so...
Woohoo!
Eye
candy for the ladies. Trip with his shirt off. Woot! Sorry.
It was bound to happen.
Yeah, well.
But now we get to fight. Now we get to argue about his stinky feet.
Yeah.
I'd be a little intimidated if she had to massage my feet, because my feet generally stink, too.
Yeah, well, I work construction, so yeah.
Well, and my feet are very, very sweaty.
And I think we've given the listener far too much information.
The listeners are okay with us hearing about our feet. LeVar Burton directed this.
I was just going to say that. This is directed by Reading Rainbow.
He did the best he could, guys. He had very little to work with here.
This isn't his fault. This is the writer's fault.
Yes.
I'm going to say I don't even think it's the writer's fault. It's just things get lost in translation. And, you know, nobody sets to make a bad episode. They're not like, I got to make this episode. And, you know, at some point, this was thought to be a good episode. And it probably just didn't translate to screen very well, you know?
So the real truth, though, is the real problem with this episode isn't even, or my real problem, I should say, isn't even the episode. It's where it is placed is so bad.
In the season, you mean?
Yeah, because you just start us off on this journey into a season-long arc, and then you throw this in at us at episode 3.
Well, when do you think it would have been better?
Never.
Yeah,
okay.
Agree.
As it has to be a part of the season, when do you think it would have been better in the season?
I still think it would have been better somewhere around the midway point.
Really?
If they're going to give you a break, because we talked about this when we did the season 3 when we did 4 episodes in a row. This was the first show I actually was a guest star on, a guest host on, guest whatever on. But it would have made more sense if this had just been like, because they were trying to give you a break from hard topics, but they didn't give you enough time in the hard topics before they tried to leave and go to that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, and I think this would have done better in any series that didn't have long season-long arcs.
And I find it disconcerting that Trip was laying on his stomach with his face turned to the side. That would not be a proper posture to receive any kind of neuropressure treatment, acupuncture, massage, etc. Because that's straining the neck and the spine. Bad form, guys. Consult people.
I'm thinking that's not the least scientifically accurate thing in this episode.
But it is something that could be very easily verified.
What could be worse?
Could it be worse that they find a disease that turns them into another being?
Brandi, you just read that book, Last First Measure? And
Last Full Measure.
This one, it takes place right before this, doesn't it? Is it before this, or is it before the second episode? Sorry.
It's before Anomaly.
It's before
It takes
Anomaly,
place
okay.
between episodes 1 and 2. So.
Excellent. Yeah, Brandi was on Literary Treks number...
I don't remember.
Just a couple ago, as of this being released, but...
I could look it up, but I didn't have it right handy. But I'll tell you this much. I did say on that episode that you would be better to just watch episode 1, read that book, watch episode 2, skip episode 3, and then carry on for the rest of the season.
Exactly.
Although this does play, we determined that this was not an essential episode. Well, actually, no, we haven't yet determined that, but I'm sure we will once we get to season 3. However, there are ramifications of this in the next episode. The next episode is Regine, right? And, they're still recuperating from this in the next episode, right?
Yes, they are. You see him with the salve for the skin rash and stuff like that. But in reality, I had hoped that the guy at the end of this was going to play a bigger role somewhere down this storyline.
The Roger Cross guy?
Yes, but
he never came back. That's too bad. I like Roger Cross. We'll talk about him when we get to him. But
so they finally went down to the planet since they're supposed to be doing a commentary about the episode, and now no one knows where we are.
Yes, they're on the planet.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So they went back. They finally went down to the planet in the shuttle pod, which is cool. I still like that they use shuttle pods.
Yeah, well, not for long, because they're going to very quickly discover that the transporter is absolutely necessary during this season.
Yes.
And this is actually the first episode I think that they use it for this season. So
For this season,
The
yeah.
transporter?
Yeah.
It's not the first time they use it, though.
yeah, the transporter. Yeah, they use it later. And to Paul even remarks, I thought you said you'd never use a transporter. And he's like, Trip's like, yeah, well, I would have liked not to have, but...
Yeah, but didn't he use it once before in season 2?
Oh, he has, but he was basically dead set on never using it again if he could help it.
Right.
So
So we got a
Ooh,
couple
bunch of
dead bodies here.
crispy guys.
Barbecue.
So does it bother anyone else that they don't just blow this planet up if they're trying to keep people from landing on it?
Or put a couple of boys around it saying, hey, stay away, like warning boys.
Yeah, quarantine.
Stay away.
You know.
Like even, in the episode Booby Trap, there was like a message that said stay away, even though they got stuck.
Right.
Yeah, so it seems to me like if you've got this planet does this thing, and you don't have a cure for it, and if it spreads off planet, it could turn the entire universe possibly into this species. And you have warp technology, but you couldn't throw up a warning buoy. Really?
Uh-oh. Look, you can already see the things around her head. They're moving, right? You can see the special effects that it's all CGI moving temples.
It's
Right, but she has a K protein or something.
K cells or something like
K
that.
cells, yeah. that protect her from this problem.
Whoa,
boy, that was
happened
fast.
quick, yeah. Reed is
Dude.
looking
Reed was
funky.
Reed a minute ago. What happened?
He's looking weird now. I just want to say before
Don't
we
go out there.
before we go too far, I like this outfit on T'Pol.
Yes, I do too.
This white outfit's pretty cool. I like this one, and I like her blue one and her purple one.
Yes. Yes, well, she's
All the
not,
ones that look like this one.
she's not technically a sub-commander anymore, even though people still call her that because of habit or what have you. But she doesn't have to wear the stupid Vulcan outfit that was ridiculous. So, yay for that. And her hair's a bit longer, so yay for that. She gets to be slightly more feminine, I suppose.
We got the CGI
so now we
shot
see
there.
a whole bunch of
That's,
a
that
bunch
would
of
really
muscle
hurt.
growth and bone density.
That would, really, really hurt, wouldn't it?
You would think, especially that quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I drank water too fast once, and I, wanted to rip my chest apart,
Yep. I had
So
pneumonia once.
now they're calling Mayweather on Enterprise, telling them weird things is happening.
These guys look
then
like
they-
Fraggles. Don't totally.
Down in Fraggle Rock, boom, boom.
Totally,
Do they really? Because I think Fraggles are way cuter.
Well, they're tall, weird-looking Fraggles, but they're Fraggles.
Okay.
it'd be like, a dark, gritty reboot, modern version of the Fraggles.
Yeah, like on HBO.
Yeah, like
or Netflix.
HBO. Or they were originally on HBO, weren't they?
No, I don't think so.
I think the Fraggles.
No, I think they are now on HBO.
I think they,
Yeah, because it's part of the whole Muppet Sesame Street thing that
Yeah.
they're doing. But
I want to Google that while we're talking. I'm pretty sure Fraggles were originally on HBO.
They might have
'cause
been.
I thought they were on ABC.
So it would be like the gritty
Well, we'll
reboot
find out.
version of Fraggles.
And now T'Pol got knocked out fighting them.
Now we're going to have Fraggles having sex and he's showing full nudity, and I'm just kidding.
See, now this is like Return of the Jedi.
How did they have enough time to make a net?
They're very smart.
Yeah, how long has she been unconscious? Because seriously,
I don't know.
guys.
It just fades to black, and then they're carrying her. So it could have been any amount of time.
Yeah, I don't think it's been that long, considering that Enterprise hasn't fully freaked out yet. It's just like, really? You guys stopped to make a net? You couldn't just fireman carry her? She's not that big, not that
Work
heavy.
smarter, not harder. So now T'Pol's trying to talk to them, but they're actually still like. This is actually kind of cool about the story is they kind of show them sort of evolving. So they're actually very primitive at this point, and then gain better communication skills and whatnot as the episode goes on.
Yeah, they gain better skills from the Universal Translator. They don't get better at talking. They just
They
keep...
do because they're having a hard time speaking to each other at the moment. If you pay attention,
Yeah, but
watch, you'll actually see their body language and everything change as this episode goes deeper.
See, I knew you could say something positive about this episode, Patrick.
I can. I just really don't like this episode.
Well,
Okay, so Fraggle Rock was originally on CBC in Canada, HBO in the USA, and ITV in the UK.
well, point for Brandon.
Yes.
That would explain why I
Brandon.
never saw it when I was a kid. We did not have cable.
Yeah, I don't know
much
how
less
I
HBO.
saw it, because we definitely didn't have HBO, but I definitely watched it.
It had to have been on network TV at some point, so...
Yeah, it must have. And then I collected all the little toys from
The
McDonald's.
Run with the Radish. I
Yeah.
remember those.
I had all but the very last release. My McDonald's never got it.
You know, I
Lame.
thought those things would be worth a fortune. I've got the 4 Lord of the Rings glasses from Burger King. They were like this glass that you put a light in.
Yep, I remember.
And I have the whole set, and I've like kept them unopened for 17 years now, 16 years now, or whatever. I went on eBay to find out how much they are. They're like $2 each. That's like less than what
Yeah,
I paid for them.
I had all the Pokeballs. Do you remember when they gave out the gold Pokemon coins in the ball?
No.
Yeah.
Guess not. So they were like $7 when they came out. So they have gone up, but only to like $10 each. I could have swore they'd be worth more.
So the neat thing, they do a very good job of acting. Like you'd mentioned with their hand motions and stuff. You know, like Hoshi just picked that thing out. I guess it was this tricorder out of her pocket, and then like was holding it with the fingers and stuff. And the way they're like hunched over and stuff, they do a good job.
The way they move their heads, too.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind
Yeah,
of
no, they're-
bird-like in a way.
They were forced to work harder on this episode than almost any other episode of the series.
Yeah. The thing is that once they are speaking English later on, it's just like, if you're not actually looking at the screen, you're like, yeah, that just sounds like Archer. So,
Yeah, yeah.
it just sounds like Archer right there for a minute. So it's okay.
There you go.
Oh, I read that as there's a Vulcan bro sign instead of
Bro.
So, is that bro sign to Pat?
that's to Pat's bro sign, yo.
I got my own bro sign. I knew this episode would be worth doing.
There you go.
Is that like you do like the Vulcan V's, but you'd like put them together, like bro?
If
Put a
only.
W.
We'll
Put
have
a
to do a
V's.
picture of us all doing this.
Do you think that's how Vulcans shake hands? They like put their V's together and then
Live long and prosper.
I feel like somebody has done that at some point in Star Trek. Unless I'm crazy. But I feel like
so-
I've seen that at some point.
So they just noticed that there's a Vulcan bio sign, not a bro sign, but there's 3 other life signs that are definitely not human.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the first time we get to realize their DNA is completely changing.
Yeah, it's really
And
handy.
she's trying to
that-
explain the ship. Oh, there's a ship. It's up there. It's yours. It's a ship.
Yeah,
Urquhart.
it's really handy that they took the universal translator this time instead of just relying on Hoshi, because how convenient that she's one of the ones that gets transformed.
Well, hey, in fairness, they finally gave her a role, right?
Yeah, I know, but she doesn't get to be Hoshi.
No, but Archer doesn't get to be Archer in this one either.
Yeah, but he's in every freaking episode, and Hoshi
Well,
didn't
he's
get
the
enough character
captain.
development.
well, neither did Reed really. We know he doesn't like. We know he likes pineapple.
Yeah,
Let's forget the idea that there's any character development going on in this episode.
there's nothing. Yeah, but see, that's the thing, is that the other characters in this particular grouping all get more character development than Hoshi, and so putting her in this episode is not doing her any favors.
Well, the only what is the other main one she gets in this season is the one where she's with that crab-faced guy,
Yeah,
Yeah, right. Which goes to his castle,
the
right?
Beauty and the Beast episode.
Yep.
Urquhart.
I hear it's a tale as old as time. He's being very inappropriate right there.
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna kiss.
He's
Yeah, it's very weird.
He's sniffing her. He's sniffing her pheromones.
It's more like the way like a dog would react to you.
Kind of like that, yeah.
What do you think those things are on their cheek? They look like open wounds.
They're gills. They're sucking air in.
You know what they make me think of?
Go in water.
Did you ever see the X-Files episode F Emasculata? Which is the one.
Probably.
It's the second season episode where there's like they have those pustules on their face because of the little bug, and they like
Oh,
explode.
you mean the episode where they ripped off the thing? No, I'm just
No,
kidding.
not the one where they
That
ripped
was
off
ice.
the thing. That was ice. Yeah, the pustules are on their face and they like explode, and I don't know. That's what it looks like to me. Oh wow! Can he climb that tree?
Yeah, I think there are boreal sort of creatures, and yet their Lost City is underground. Ew.
Yeah, with lots of light.
Is that are those eggs? What are those really? They look
No, they're like fruit.
Yeah, with bugs in them. No, they're
gross.
Yeah, they're
there got to be some kind of egg.
Yeah, but an egg of what?
An egg of gross.
So this seems awfully odd. He leaves Hoshi with it, but then he fights Reed for it, right? Is that?
Yeah, well, maybe because he views Hoshi as weaker because she's female. I don't know how their societal structure works, and nor do I care to know.
No one does because they don't exist.
Not anymore.
It looks like a giant coffee bean or something, or a cocoa bean.
It does, doesn't it?
But it's filled with maggots.
They're rotted.
Or it looks like really wet rice. Take your pick.
See, that's the
I'm
thing with
pretty sure
episodes
that
like this. They're like, how can we make them gross? Let's make them eat something gross. It's like in Conspiracy. I love Conspiracy. It's my favorite TNG episode, but they're like, let's eat worms.
Yeah, and now he gets really close to force feeding to Paul, but doesn't.
Yeah, I know what'll make her want to eat this. I'll stick my tongue out at her.
Maybe that is what they do.
Eat this.
Yeah, how do we know
That's
that's not a sign of affection?
Yeah.
I'll do that to you next time I see you, Patrick. Hey, Patrick.
Let's just all do it. That's our new greeting.
That's it. I'm doing the Vulcan bro sign.
Yeah, you gotta
Okay,
stick
you
your tongue out and put
do
your
your
hands
bro
together.
They're about 3 kilometers
Daniel
east of us.
Day-Kim.
East, I say.
And I don't know who that
Hope you're
other
up
guy
for
is,
a
but
walk.
he's cute.
He's the guy from Lost.
I didn't watch Lost. I watched half an episode of Lost and just like, yeah, no one
Wait.
survived that plane crash. I used to work for an airline. I'm like, no, nobody survived that.
Which guy from Lost is he?
He's the Korean guy.
No, that's Daniel Day-Kim. I'm talking about the other guy who is cute.
Well, I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the guy from Lost, Daniel Day-Kim.
Oh,
He's
I
the
thought
Korean guy.
Yeah, I know who Daniel
See,
Day-Kim
Patrick,
is.
you thought the same thing I did, right?
Yeah, I knew the other one.
I don't know who that other guy is. Who's he?
I don't know, but he's cute.
Whatever. I did watch every episode of Lost.
Yeah. And now we're...
Now we're watching Extinction.
Now, yeah. Oh, bright light. Bright light.
How come these lights aren't green like in the cold open?
Because it's a different species in them and a different
So what?
ship.
It's still night
Yeah,
vision.
but isn't this our crew?
Yeah, this is our crew, but I'm not sure that they're using night vision at this point. I
Why?
think they're just using lights.
Wouldn't it make... Oh, whatever.
Yes, it would make sense to use night vision, but what about this episode truly makes sense? Nothing.
So no, that's why. That's what they see. That's how they see.
So they see in red-colored night vision?
They see in sepia.
Yes. Sepia?
They have sepia vision.
Sepia vision. Oh man, that guy just shot him down.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Oh, don't break the glass!
Oh, dear. Oh, T'Pol reins him in.
Wait, you don't recognize him? No kidding. And that makes him stop somehow.
Yeah. Well, he's formed some kind of trust with T'Pol, so...
Yeah, I guess.
See, he says sub-commander.
That's the second time they've used that term in this episode.
Well, it's a habit. It's a habit.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's a habit or a sign.
Let me out of here! Let me out of here!
I wonder if he'd still be allergic to pineapple.
But he's
No, probably not.
He's not allergic to pineapple. He loves pineapple.
Yeah, but he's allergic to it. Don't you remember? They found out he was allergic to pineapple because he takes some type of injection. Right? Because and he takes that so he can eat pineapple because he's allergic to pineapple.
I had forgotten that aspect of it.
Yes.
My apologies.
The wonderful B
Yeah,
plot
but
for
no, he
silence.
shouldn't be allergic to it because his genes are all changed.
They should give him pineapple. He'd remember everything.
I know this.
He probably also wouldn't like pineapple anymore either.
Just put maggots on
Yeah.
it.
So at this point, I'm never having pineapple again either. So now they're talking about making the antivirus.
Yeah, and now here comes the containment ship.
The jerks.
Ships, excuse me.
Oh, there's 2 of them.
How do you think that these guys feel after they've been trying to find a cure for this for like over 60 years and Enterprise does it in a day?
Well,
Yeah,
humans
like
are
4
awesome,
hours.
man. Humans are just awesome. There he is, Roger Cross.
Yeah, but
He's denobulan.
were they really trying to find a cure or just blowing people up calling it
No,
a cure?
they said that they have been trying.
No, I know what they said, but do we
60 years.
believe them?
I would think so.
I don't believe them. They look like
I don't
liars
believe
to
them
me.
now, but I mean, I believe that they started out trying to find a way to cure
Yeah,
it.
of course they would have. So I remember Roger Cross from 24. I'm going to put that out there because that's what I know him for. I love 24. I remember when 24 started, I was hooked on that show. I was freaking out and telling everybody, you got to watch 24 when season 1 started.
Me too. I actually bought all the trading cards.
Trading
I bought the
cards?
I'm sorry,
CTU
what?
Mug. They had trading cards for
Really?
24.
What? Why?
Yes, they did. Because it's an awesome show. I bought the coffee mug for the CTU coffee mug, the bank book cover because back then we still actually wrote checks.
Wow.
Okay, technically, they said they've been studying this virus
Right.
for over 60 years. So, yeah.
So they've done nothing to stop it.
So they must feel really stupid then when Enterprise is just like, here, we figured it out.
Bro, this is it, right?
Less than a
Just,
day.
Phlox is pretty darn good.
He really is.
So it took them like an hour to make them fully whatever this race is, but apparently it's going to take hours and days for them to get over the effects, which is weird.
Not to me, because it only takes a short amount of time to get a sunburn, but it will take weeks for that sunburn to fully heal. So,
I guess this isn't quite a sunburn.
no.
It's
But
a Fraggle burn.
that kind of genetic change, though it could happen quickly, would take longer to heal. It always takes longer to heal from
Look,
anything.
Star Trek's worst CGI.
Is it, though?
Yeah, it really is. Look at it.
Is it the worst, though?
Yes.
We haven't seen anything worse than this
This is the worst.
in Star Trek,
It's
or
terrible.
just in Enterprise.
Well, no, you have to compare it according to the time in which it's in.
Right, okay.
And it's the worst.
If you say so.
It's the worst. Look at it.
I don't know. I think it's okay. It's not a matte painting, right? Like you would usually have done a matte painting in a previous series, right?
Yeah.
What? Oh, it was a dream. Oh, good.
I knew that was coming when I saw Archer confronting Archer.
I'm like, what's going on? Because I
had a
don't remember
dream.
this episode. I forget it every time I watch it.
They definitely did that reveal entirely too quickly, too.
Yeah.
He turns the corner and then poof, he's asleep.
Yeah. Well, that's...
Urquhart.
Our city.
You know what? We're not going to call you Tapat anymore. We're going to call you Urquhart.
No, don't do that. Because
I'm to Pat from Urquhart.
There we go. That works. Because I can't...
And I can live there because I have K-cells.
Yeah, and I can't lose that Vulcan bro sign, man. That's just...
No, that's it. I got a bro sign.
We gotta have that.
I wonder if that's like, the origin of the K cup. The K cells.
All right, so she's trying to explain where they're from. I'm really trying to stay on topic here. We're doing a horrible job.
Yes, T'Pol just keeps plugging away,
Yeah,
trying
she
to get
just-
him back to Enterprise.
Well, she's got a one-track mind.
Well, she is very logical, so she's...
Well, at this point, it'd be logical to find Urquhart and just show them it's dead.
Yeah, well, she doesn't believe that Urquhart actually exists yet.
She doesn't believe in time travel either. She was wrong.
Yeah, she finds that out later.
When Enterprise was
Find
coming
out.
out, I totally thought Phlox was going to be a Cardassian.
Really?
Yeah, just because those ridges around his head, I'm like, dude, they got a Cardassian on the ship?
Huh. Yeah, but I guess. But that wouldn't really make sense story-wise.
No. It wouldn't, because I don't think Earth would have even known about Cardassia at this point.
No, I don't think so. However, we never heard of Denobula really either.
So do we think
That's
Trip does a
okay.
good job as a captain in this episode?
I do.
Yeah, why not? I mean, it's such a crapshoot.
Yeah, but he's also very... He's sort of channeling Archer in the whole protecting of the crew, etc. He may go about saying things in a different way just because of who he is, but his end goal is what Archer's would be. So I think he's carrying the captain torch very well, and I don't think he likes doing it, but he does it because he's, the commanding officer at this point, the next in line.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I don't think he wants to be captain at all.
No.
He doesn't want to be dealing with this guy. He doesn't want to be putting up with we're going to shoot your people and kill them because they can't leave. He wants none of this.
Oh, yeah, we'll find these people and examine them? Right, really believe you. I have a forehead ridge. That's what designates me as an alien.
Someone should just teleport him to the surface. That would solve the problem.
That was nice that the crewman looked at Trip for confirmation. That's the word I was looking for.
2-hour time limit. That's pretty fast that he's got to do that.
Considering they've been studying it for generations.
Yeah. So.
And I'm sure they're sharing no information.
Yep. So now the rules are not the rules. I read rules. I said rules. So they can't bring everybody back up, but they can't stop anyone from going back down with the transporter.
And then Trip runs away.
Good thing they had those peaches at the start of the episode. Good thing he convinced her to bite it. The moral of the story is always eat your peaches.
Yes.
Chekhov's gun. I'm telling you.
Chekhov's peach.
Chekhov's peach. If you show it in the beginning, it better pay off later. Really? She just put it in a bowl and set it way up on a shelf? What was she going to do when it started going bad?
I told you, she's a bit of a jerk.
I mean, why didn't she just eat them or get rid of them or take them to the chef?
She's being a jerk. She took a bite. No, because she put it down to do the whole Vulcan nerve pinch. Gotta watch with my grandmother's scene and horrible nightmares to come.
She's like, I don't want your gross peaches. I'm just going to put up on the shelf here. Oops, I forgot about it. It went all moldy. I brought those from Earth.
We're not going back there forever.
We're going to be away from Earth for months and months, you jerk.
I put these in cryogenic freeze and brought them out to thank you for your massages.
And to say I'm sorry.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, what is
All right,
that?
now we have other weird dead body. Look, it's Red Skull. It's Red Skull from Avengers, from Captain America. Look.
That's where he ended up when he grabbed hold of the Tesseract.
Now we know where that... No spoilers, but now we know where those scenes come from.
Yep. They were on Urquhart the whole time.
Yes.
Who knew?
This doesn't look like
Anyone
Archer's
wants to know where
dream.
he is, he's on Urquhart.
Duh. Of course it doesn't look like Archer's dream.
What, that's not the same picture? The city didn't look like that?
So I've been playing Timelines, and they had like a special bonus thing a little while ago where you could get an Urquhart Hoshi as like a character.
Wow. No.
That's lame.
Yeah. I don't know why. I have a Tom Paris salamander from Threshold as one of my crew.
Nice. Speaking of that, I got John Delancey's autograph on his card for the queue.
Look at how Hoshi's standing. Is she not just like a stuck-up teenager? She's like...
No, she really is.
Jeez.
Just like, I am too cool for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back and text.
It's like, are you done here? I'm bored.
It's either that or she's an electrical apprentice. I'm not sure which.
Easy to get them confused.
You would know.
You have no idea how easy it is to get that confused.
She's either a teenager or an electrical engineer apprentice.
Who works in New York City.
No one has lived here for a very long time. Yes, we got that. The dead body is a giveaway.
No, the dead Red Skull didn't give that away.
So is that what they actually looked like?
That's not what the first one... Oh, but the first one was set on fire.
Yeah, well, and that one was not an original.
That skull does not match anyone who's turned into this species.
Well, that's because these guys, the dead bodies, those are the originals.
Right. And this is kind of like Alien with the xenomorphs, right? Like, so the xenomorph hugs your face, and then it, like, makes part xenomorph, part whatever. And that's why in Alien 3, which is a good movie, everybody, you get the dog-looking one because, you know, it...
No, but I don't agree with that because in this episode, their DNA completely changes.
It completely changes to Urkwoman.
Yeah, but it should look like whatever the originals were.
Well, I think
because there's no human DNA left.
They're still mutating, according to Dr. Phlox, and that's why he has to get to them within the next 2 hours before they devolve more to the point where their original genome is gone. So they're
still evolving,
whatever. Yeah, they're still changing.
Like Geordi in Identity Crisis, right? When he's turning into that invisible guy.
Oh man!
You guys don't like that episode?
No,
oh, I love that episode.
Hey, look, the lights are green again.
Yeah, but those are the other guys.
I understand this, but I like green lights. Have you not understood this yet?
Yeah, but
it's a very Vulcan thing.
But often green in science fiction signifies bad guys.
I understand this, but that's stupid. It's night vision.
And the Romulans also don't like the side of green because it makes them think of their blood, and that means bad.
Well, yeah, in like the fiction and stuff, like green alert is like red alert for them, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yep, exactly. Because they are a copper-based entity. Boy,
speaking of electricians.
Gonna smash his head in.
Captain, do it!
This is definitely not the Fraggle Rock you want to visit. Down in this Fraggle Rock.
No, I don't want to be a Fraggle. I just want to hang out in their area.
Yeah. Well, you can go down in a containment suit.
The only thing we're missing is a giant dog to chase you back into the Fraggle Rock area.
And then he's like, oh no, my suit got ripped. Oh no.
Aw, poor baby.
That's it for me.
Guess we'll have to blow him up too.
Yeah, just burn him alive. Flamethrowers. They really don't have anything more efficient than flamethrowers.
Well,
that's what they use in Aliens.
It works. It works. Oh, there he's gone.
Well, he was already changing, though. His eyes were already changed.
Oh, yeah. He was already changing because this takes hold very, very quickly, as we saw earlier in the episode.
Uh-oh, we're surrounded!
Oh, noes. Oh, noes. What are we going to do?
Lots of green lights.
So the real moral of this story is don't be different or they'll burn you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That is true.
And for some reason, they take T'Pol out of this.
Well, they said that they weren't going to harm her because
she's still a carrier.
She is still a carrier, but they weren't going to kill her. And Transporter saves the day. Woot!
I love how these things don't affect the suits at all. Just phaser fire after phaser fire.
Well, they were probably set to stun.
Should still ruin the suit.
Yeah, but stun doesn't.
So does that ever bother anyone else? I mean, I know, stupid me. I shouldn't be trying to make logic out of some of the science, but stun should be a setting on humans, right? Like it was set off of humans. Right. How do we know my stun doesn't kill someone else?
Because it's Star Trek, and we're good people in Star Trek.
I know, but it never does. Like just once, I want them to go, "Oops."
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Because sometimes full blast doesn't hurt, but stun never accidentally
I'm sure
kills.
that there's been times when they've... I remember that there was a time, I think it was a TOS, when they had it set on stun and they killed somebody. I can't remember which episode off the top of my head.
I don't know. I haven't rewatched TOS as much as I probably should have, so I'll have to defer there.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been through it. Probably, I think a couple years since I went through the whole original series. Eventually I will get back to it. And
oh, they're warping out.
Warp
That's
4.
it. Warp 4.
To infect the galaxy.
It's not fast enough.
What if they did let it loose? That'd be a whole different type of Star Trek.
Yep, it would no longer be... There would no longer be anybody except for these guys.
Or Quat Trek.
That...
No.
That's bent mirror universe.
Oh, boy. Instead of broken mirror, just bent.
Right. we got mirror, broken, bent, concaved, which means the same thing.
Upside down?
Go with
I don't
it.
think that matters.
Upside down. Clown mirror.
There you go.
The one where if you jump, you look skinny, then you fall back down, you look fat. That mirror. There's a whole lot of universes.
See, their
All of my
weapons are
mirrors
green
do
too.
that.
Yes, their weapons are green.
Yeah, because they're bad. And actually, I don't know. They're probably copper-based. I don't know.
Drop out of warp.
Copper-based weapons?
We
No,
both want the same
people.
thing.
Anyway. Yeah. Because...
He's yelling, we need more time. I can't do it.
And now Archer's back. And it's like, what the H?
Oh, and the hero comes to save the day. He still has a little forehead ridge going on.
Archer has a lot of
Yeah.
forehead ridge in this series. Like, he gets the Klingon ones, too, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
And then he gets veins, you know.
And she doesn't have the forehead ridge, but she has the ones like on the cheekbones. Hoshi.
Yeah.
Archer has a little bit of cheekbone, but a big forehead ridge.
Yeah, you jerks.
And that was Trip's mic drop right there. He's like, see? Told you I needed some more time.
Yeah. So do you want the cure? Huh? Do ya?
All right, so now here's the only bit of little tiny bit of character, anything we see in this whole episode coming up in a moment. All right, more than a moment. We'll get back to this.
Well, now you got me anticipated and on the edge of my seat.
Why? It's so minor and useless. So now he can't eat anything because his stomach is still there.
Pineapple. Pineapples with maggots.
So he asks him if he wants to eat any worms.
Moth larvae.
Marth larvae, that's what it is. I couldn't remember the exact terms.
Yeah, well, there's
So
still worms.
okay, here comes, that's true. So here comes the little bit of something that tells us someone's a somebody in this episode. This didn't make them just jerks.
What is it? That they're taking the day off?
Watch.
Okay.
It's coming. As soon as Reed will get the heck out of the damn room.
Well, don't make them watch, because not everybody's watching. You got to tell us.
I will when it happens. And now they're going to destroy the mutagenic virus. And Archer complains that would actually be wiping out an entire race.
And they're already wiped out?
Yeah, but they're not. Technically, the genome still exists.
Right.
So if he were to... This is the last bit, and he talks about how the whoever the containment ship... What did they give us a race name for them?
I don't think they did.
Okay. That does look cool, though. That's a cool prop.
Yeah.
Like a little thingy with a purple thingy inside.
Oh, it's an infinity stone.
Yes. Yeah. Now we know why Red Skull was here.
Yes! It all comes together!
Look at this. Look at this foreshadowing they had for Marvel. So much they went to a property they didn't even own and put stuff
Okay,
in.
well, I just want to make one last comparison here, because I know nothing about Marvel. Okay, so if this alien race did this as a last-ditch effort in order to try and get themselves to be remembered, then this episode is Enterprise's inner light.
Yep, that's exactly what I thought when I was rewatching this for this episode.
Yes, true.
So,
But
anyway,
not as good.
So this point,
not as good. No.
this not even close. This moment, he saves a species from extinction, and that's my point.
What if that thing falls off in the middle of a Xindi battle?
It definitely does, and then they go extinct. But we didn't do it on purpose.
Or else everybody dies.
So, because we all know now that other race is going to wipe out that virus on the planet, right? It's not going to exist once they figure out how to destroy it.
Right.
Excellent. So
Associate producer, David Rossi. Ah!
Rossi or Rossi?
It's Rossi.
Oh. So not your friend.
hey, I'm
Brandon.
going to say I listened to an early episode of The Ready Room, and Chris Jones says it Rossi as well. So
Well, Dave says it Rossi.
He says it wrong.
Okay, he says his own name wrong. Good to know.
All right, now we roll credits.
Yeah.
Thank you.
See, that wasn't so bad.
it wasn't so bad.
Yes, it was.
It was fine.
It really wasn't. Yes, it was.
Excellent. A lot of these people we've talked to. I mean, like we had Mike Sussman on the show. We had Phyllis Strong on the show. You know, so it's good stuff. And we had Dave Rossi on the show. Well, there we go. That's the end of the commentary, my DVD is now stopped. So.
Yes. And for those of you who are still with us and watch that episode, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fine. There's people who like it. You know, everybody's worst episode is somebody's favorite episode. I'm sure there's somebody out there who thinks this is the best episode of Enterprise. I don't.
There is someone.
There's one person.
I would say that a lot of people don't hate it.
I would agree with that. I don't know if there's anyone who says this is their favorite episode.
There is somebody out here, out in the.
I want to
unknown.
meet that person.
Well,
if this is your favorite episode, please come to the Babel conference so I can fly to wherever you are and shake your hand.
Yes.
okay, well, I'm going
We
to
want
say
to know
this,
you.
okay? Based on some recent episodes that we watched, I would rather watch this than Judgment. And I would rather watch this than Stormfront.
Nope.
That's me.
No, I'd still rather watch Stormfront.
I definitely want to watch Storm Fart more than all of them. But I still would watch Storm Front.
See, it's hard, isn't
over
it?
this.
It is.
It is now.
It is. Yeah.
Yes.
It's hard now. I made it hard for everyone. I'm so sorry. It was just.
It's fine. I wasn't even on that episode and I can't say it.
I didn't mean to do it. It just happened.
I listened to that episode and it's become a problem.
Excellent.
All right, so now what? I guess we don't really do final thoughts,
No,
right?
I don't have any more thoughts on it. We can move on.
Good, because no one does.
No one in this group, anyway.
And that is my final thought.
There's no final thoughts.
Excellent. Well, thanks everybody for listening. Well, space fraggles are not the only thing we're discussing here on the network this week, so please take a listen to this clip and see what else you may have missed elsewhere on Urquhart FM.
Previously on Trek.fm, The Orb.
All right. And as for Avery Brooks' ability to portray this mirror Cisco in a way that was believable to everyone else, I mean,
It's awesome.
It's his personality. It's like he's in a way better as a mirror than he is as Prime, right?
Continuing mission.
I saw his Romulan Stormbird ship, which is impressive, I have to say. You know,
It's a good-looking ship, yeah.
Yeah, it is a good-looking ship.
It's a good-looking ship.
Awesome firepower.
Yeah, it is Starfleet's worst nightmare in our film. At least until a certain point when Starfleet, I guess, regroups and makes a comeback and figures out how to beat Stormbird.
To the journey!
I think what I love about the Captain Proton sequence is it's such a Tom and Harry bromance thing. It's like Geordi and Data playing Sherlock Holmes on The Next Generation.
Mhm.
It's so charming. Would you be Captain Proton or would you be Buster Kincaid? If we were doing Captain Proton right now.
I can't be one of the good guys. I'm sorry.
You would be Arachnia. Or no, you would be Chaotica.
I think I'd be Chaotica's henchman.
Oh, okay, yes. I see that.
Yeah, because I don't want to be the fully evil dude who's everybody's trying to destroy. I want to be the guy behind the evil dude.
See, I could totally pop out and go, the jig is up.
Yeah, you could.
Captain Proton is here. I'd be a great Captain Proton.
Oh, no, I saw you more as Buster Kincaid.
Oh, really? I'm a Buster
You're a
Kincaid?
Buster.
Oh, man. Thanks, Suzanne. Isn't that the way of things in life? You view yourself as a Captain Proton, but really you're a Buster Kincaid.
Standard orbit.
To me, Star Trek history is like Earth history. It's like, oh yeah, well in 2265, the Enterprise looked like this. That's ridiculous. That'd be like if you make a movie about New York in the 1950s and the World Trade Center is there. Like, oh, well, that's wrong. That's not how it was, you know? But I have to remember that this is fiction, and we're all here to have a good time.
And that's what else is happening on Trek.fm.
So check out all these shows and join in the conversation about your favorite corner of the Star Trek universe and Urquhart. You'll find us wherever you get your eggs with worms inside of them. And podcasts, too. If you're an Apple user, please be sure to hit the subscribe button on Apple Podcasts on iPhone, iPad, or Apple TV, or the desktop iTunes app to get the latest episodes as soon as they're published. And please leave us a star rating or a written review, or we will infect your city with Urquhart disease. If you're not an Apple user...
Urquhartians.
What's that?
Urquhartians.
They're not Urquhartians. They're called something else, but I've already forgotten what it is.
If you're not an Apple user, we've got you covered as well. You can find our shows on Google Play Music, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spreaker, SoundCloud, Windows Phone, in most third-party apps, and you can stream and download the MP3 from our website, or grab the RSS link as well. Brandi, do you want to tell them about the Babel Conference?
I will so tell them about the Babel Conference, because that is one of the best ways for you to share your thoughts on today's show. So the best place, obviously, going to be the Babel Conference, which is our listeners group on Facebook. Just go to the search field on Facebook and type in Urquhart. No, I'm kidding. Type in Babel, B-A-B-E-L, and then Urquhart. And it should come right up. And if you'd like to send us an email instead, you can use the form on our website at trek.fm/contact. Choose to send to a show and select Urquhart. It will come right to us. You will also find the network on Twitter at Trek FM and on Facebook at facebook.com/trekfm/Urquhart. Okay, none of that's true.
And give your computer a virus.
Yes, it will give your computer a virus that will mutate it from a Mac into a Windows computer, and there's nothing you can do to stop it.
Yes, finally! Where do I get that?
Shut up.
Hate this Mac.
Well, that makes me sad.
Okay.
Brandi, where can people find you when you're not mutating into a weird-looking alien?
Ooh, and Hoshi was starting to get, like, claw hands, so that was cool. You can find me lurking in the Babel Conference from time to time. I will pop my head up every once in a while. And you can also find me from time to time on the 602 Club. If you want to know how I felt about Infinity War, check out that episode that was last week. Week before last, actually, now when this is coming out. I also do a podcast with my lovely husband, Dave, called the Dark Corner Podcast, and we do have our own domain now, which is darkcornerpodcast.com, where you can find that. And I'm on Twitter at Brandywine12. Brandi is with an I, and 12 is a number. So you can stalk or lurk about however you prefer.
Patrick, where can people find you when you're not finger-eating maggot egg?
Okay, so I can do that and be on the Babel Conference, so I might be having a little snack while I'm on the Babel Conference. Poke my head up in there once in a while. And you can also find me on Twitter at MagicDrop5. The 5 is a number. It's all one word. And you can find me elsewhere on the network on The Edge with my co-host Amy Nelson. And that's it. And Brandon, when you're not standing around with a bunch of sass like a 15-year-old girl or an electrical apprentice, where can people find you?
Like, you can find me, like, on Twitter, like, at Brandon-Shea Mutala, like, and, yeah, like, with my friends, like, Chris and Tom over, like, on the Good Evening podcast, like,
Man, you're a terrible 15-year-old girl.
Oh,
unlike Jack Black, apparently, according to my listening of the podcast with Brandi.
So good, seriously. Watch Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. You will thank me for it.
I listened to the podcast, but I didn't see the movie.
It's so fun. It's just so fun. Sorry.
Well, if you'd like to keep all of our shows coming to you each week, you can become a patron on the network on Patreon. Visit patreon.com/TrekFM. That's patreonuquat.com/TrekFM to get all the details. Perks include early access to episodes, exclusive content, producer credits, and more. Available through our special patrons website, Patron Zone. And if you subscribe at the $75 a month level, you get free maggot eggs sent to you in the mail.
Just kidding. Just kidding. Someone will do that. We'll get sued. Just kidding.
It requires a great deal of money to produce, host, and distribute these shows each month. We really appreciate any support you can give us and hope you'll join the team. Again, you'll find all the details at patreon.com/TrekFM. And at this time...
How did I end up with no parts?
You were too slow, man. Too slow.
Too slow. We took it away from you.
Mm-hmm.
At this time, we would like to thank the wonderful associate Fraggles of Warp 5, Norman C. Lau, Floyd Dorsey, Mike Morrison, Tim Cooper, Justin Ozer, Mark Flessa, and Joe Saltzman. We love you guys down in Fraggle Rock and beyond.
Yeah, and by the way, those people are called the Lokek, and you wouldn't even believe how it's spelled.
Loquequ?
Nope. LOQUE'.
Hey, I was pretty darn close.
You were very close.
That wasn't bad. I wouldn't have gotten anywhere near that. But anyway.
Look at
So that's all we have for you this week. Keep calm and boom on.
I am
all right,
so
let's
ready.
Do this.
Excellent. So I'll give you the 3, 2, 1 countdown, and 3, 2, 1, launch. Oh, and it's a DVD, so I'll give you... I gotta do that again because it's one of those DVDs, so it takes forever to start up. Unlike a Blu-ray or something like that. So,
True.
Well, I'll try that. 3, 2, 1, play.
All right, so there's 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 7 seconds of blackness, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Is there a show here?
I don't know if this is going to work. Maybe there's something up with the DVD.
It was working before you tried to start it again.
I don't have any picture. Frickin' technology.
Okay. This is how I want to watch Extinction.
Okay, here we go.
No,
Let's.
he fixed it.
All right, here we go. Now there's
I'll
a
give
show.
one more
Darn it.
countdown. Third time's a charm.
Why
3.
Why don't we pause? Wait. Why don't we pause it when we get to the beginning
That's
of the...
what I did, and then it didn't play. So here, we'll try one more time. We'll do another countdown. We'll edit out this garbage, and we'll put it as the stinger. Frickin' DVDs. Okay. We'll try again. Here's your countdown. 3, 2, 1, play. Yay!
Hold on, I can't get my... Hold on.
You can't get your thingy?
I was going to say I can't get my thing up, but that doesn't sound right.
That's another stinger.
It's entirely not what I was talking about. I just can't get Chrome to open up.
Oh, I can't wait to be able to turn the air conditioner back on.
Okay, I'll get started because I got it up here.